was a little kid. So that's pretty cool. But, most of them were like thrown away. I had way more. I had like the coolest cards, but, my parents threw them away, I guess, when I was little. This is all I could save. I'm from the time when Yugioh first came out, pretty much. Like, at least here where I live. Like half of these characters, they're like, whatever. Like I'm talking about like the original, like Yugioh. Like with Yuki. I remember like never having Exodia. I always wanted Exodia, but it was so hard to get. And then eventually I didn't get Exodia, and then they banned Exodia. So it kind of became pointless to even bother getting it anymore. Man, Exodia was like, that Exodia was like even better than the God cards, yo. I had fake God cards though. I got them when I was like in Europe. They were kind of like a gift, but Yugioh. It's funny. My first ever email was actually Yami _ something at hotmail.com or something like that. Because Yami was like the pharaoh, a spirit inside Yugi. Oh, I haven't really seen these cards in a long time. Let's hope at least there's some good ones that were saved. Because these are my memories, Like, all those cards that were thrown out without my permission. That's, like, sad for me, Because, like, I spent my whole childhood obsessing over these retarded cards. All I'm left with now is, like, what? Zombie Master. Wow. And this Gokipon thing, yo. Oh wow. They really did throw out all my good cards, yo. Go keep on. Dun, 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 dun. Insect effect. When this card is destroyed as a result of battle and sent to the graveyard, add one insect type monster with an attack of 1500 or less from your deck to your hand. That's pretty cool. I would choose man-eater bug if you have those. You know, those were like, those were gangster, yo. I had like the maximum amount I could. Creature swap. Yeah, let's kind of go through these. I don't really remember these. Zombie Master. How many do I have? 2? Fissure. Destroys one opponent's face up monster with the lowest attack. Yeah, this card was pretty awesome actually. Pot of Avarice. Select 5 monster cards in your graveyard. Return those cards to the deck, then draw 2 cards. Yo, this is gangster. I don't think I used it though, but this is actually pretty cool. Oh, this was also awesome. Where's the good cards? I have like none. Okay, this is like whatever. Wow, these cards kind of suck. Oh, brain control. Kind of self-explanatory. But I'll trace this. Kind of looks like a butterfly if you think about it. Don't I have any holographics? Wait. Oh my god. I see a holographic. Is it the card I tried so hard to get and then finally got it? Is it Jinzo? Is it my Jinzo? Okay, here's the man-eater bug I was talking about. This is gangster. Read this. You put this card face down, right? So when like your opponent attacks, it flips up, and the effect of this card is once it's flipped, it destroys one monster on the field regardless of position. So it doesn't matter what monster it kills, it doesn't matter how powerful it is. So this was one of my favorite cards. It's kind of like weird looking if you know really look at it, but this was one of like the best cards. There's my Jinzo. Damn. I remember I wanted this card for the longest time, but was never really able to get it. I used to have this card as like my like my computer desktop wallpaper in like tiles. So I remember that, and I wanted this card so much, but I was never able to get it. And then I think I eventually changed the wallpaper because I had given up, and then I don't know. I guess later on, I finally got my own Jinzo. You know, this was like the coolest card, one of the coolest cards. So. Hi, Jinzo. Oh, Just Desserts was one of the badass cards. Inflicts 500 points damage to your opponent's life points for each monster on your opponent's side of the field. This was just like, killer card. Oh yeah, this was one of the coolest cards too, actually. Flip, discard 5 cards from the top of your opponent's deck to the graveyard. So this was like Man-Eater Bug, but like a whole like different level. Oh, Monster Reborn. You could like bring back any monster that died from the graveyard back. So this was like the top card. This was like you had to have this card. Oh, Red Eye Zombie Dragon. Yeah. Red Eye Zombie Dragon. Like Red Eyes was like already a cool dragon as is, right? It wasn't the most powerful, obviously, but it was pretty cool. And then like Red Eye Zombie Dragon just like took the whole design to a new level. Still like 2400, I think, which is kind of low, but that was a good card. Oh, Tree Born Frog. Oh, what does it say? If this card is in your graveyard during your standby phase, and there are no spell or trap cards on your side of the field, you can special summon this card on your side of the field. This effect cannot be activated if there is a face-up Treeborn Frog on your side of the field. So this is cool. Even if it dies, like you can have it back on the field, protecting you. So that's pretty cool. And here's another Man-Eater Bug. Like I said, I was a huge fan of these cards. Oh, Summon Skull. This card was like the original badass. Like, it was so underrated for like the amount of power and everything. Like, everybody was like, oh, Dark Magician and all that shit, right? Because it was like hollow. But this card was just as powerful, actually. But it was so underrated. I didn't like realize its value until like the longest time. But then like, I put like the maximum amount. Doom Dozer. I think that was a cool card. Okay, kid, this card, Chaos Emperor Dragon, Envoy of the End. Oh, I remember I bought this card. I don't know. I think it was like, I don't know, must have been a lot of money actually. I don't know, maybe like $20 or something. Just for this like piece of like paper. And the sad part is like this card was banned, so I couldn't even use it, you know. But I think it had like one of the badassest effects ever. That's why they banned it. Because it was just like, it wasn't even fair to the other person. Or something. See, this card cannot be normal summoned or set. This card can only be special summoned by removing one light and one dark monster in your graveyard from play. Pay 1,000 of your life points to send all cards in both players' hands and on the field to the graveyard. Inflict 300 points of damage to your opponent's life points for each card that is sent to the graveyard. By this effect, and look at the attack, then you can attack and just like totally destroy everything. So it wasn't even fair, yo. You summoned this, like you can like kiss your like cards like on the field and in your hand goodbye. Like there's nothing to defend you, and it's just like, you know. So that's why this one got banned, I guess. Any more hollows in this one? Oh yeah, the card destruction. Trap hole, Tyrant Dragon. That was one of my favorite cards too, actually. Yeah.